In today's session, we are just looking into how the memory's locations are arranged inside the memory. What do you mean by the address? And what are the different operations we can perform inside the computer? So first we will recall few things what we have already discussed. We know that inside the computing system, the data will be arranged in terms of bits. So it will be arranging as a collection of zeros and ones. And one more thing we have studied in our previous session is a set of bits together will be taken from the memory to the processor, and in the same way, from processor to memory, also we are keeping a set of bits together will be transferring, and that set of bits together is called as word. And the number of bits present inside a word is also called as word length. So the word length can be varying from 16 to 64 bits. So the word length can be varied from 16 to 64 bits based on the processor architecture. And we are having one more unit, and that is called as byte. We already know that byte means it's a collection of 8 bits. It's a collection of 8 bits. So even you can tell the unit instead of word in terms of byte also you can group the memory addresses. So bytes are also group bytes are grouped into words. Word length can also be expressed as a number of bytes. So even the word length, what you are represented, I told it may be varying from 16 bits to 32 bits. Sorry, 16 bit to 64 bits. So even the same thing you can tell like it is varying from in terms of byte also. 16 bit means 2 bytes, or even 64 bits means 8 bytes. So we can tell that in terms of bytes also the word length you can express either in terms of number of bits present inside the word, or you can tell like in terms of bytes. So that example has given the word length is, if you are mentioning like it is 16 bits, in the same way you can tell that the word length is 2 bytes. Even if it is 32 bits, you can tell like word length is 32 bit, or if it is 4 bytes. Or you can tell like if it is 64 bit, either 64 bit word length you can tell, or it can also be expressed as 8 bytes. So the complete memory will be arranged like a word. So this is maybe with respect to the processor, it will be 32 bits length or 4 bytes of length for each word. So that 4 bytes together will be representing my first word. So next 4 bytes will be representing my second word. Next 4 bytes will be representing my third word. In that way, the memory will be arranged. So memory consisting of many millions of storage cells, and each will be storing one bit of data. But always a group of n bits together will be taken from the memory and keeping it back into the memory. So that we are calling as word, and that n is representing as the word length because n bits are together. When we can represent the same as number of bytes also. So n by 8 bytes, because 8 bits will be making 1 byte. Next point is, if k bits addresses are there, if the address is represented by using k bits, total 2 raised to k memory locations will be there. So the memory locations will be named from 0 to 2 raised to k minus 1. What it means is, see, it, if you are having only one bit is used for representing the data, one bit is used for representing an address, how many memory locations are possible? One is 1 and second one is 0. So these are the two locations are possible. So total how many memory locations are possible? Two memory locations are possible. Instead of that, think about you are having 2 bits for representing a memory location. So what all are the possibilities you are having? One location will be 0 0. Next location will be 0 1. and the next location will be 10, and the next location will be 11. So these are the four possibilities you are having. So it means that you are, if you are having two bits for representing a particular address, in your memory you will be having four addresses. That only has generally has written like k bits of address is present. That means if your address is having k bits, then you will be having total memory locations are 2 raised to k. So in our example, 2 bits are there. In that time, 2 raised to k is 2 raised to 2, that is 4. So 4 memory locations are possible. In this case, only one bit we were used. So if the address is having one bit for representing, then the total how many memory locations are possible? 2 raised to k. That is 2 raised to 1. That means 2 memory locations are possible. And from where to where these addresses are varying? See, this is 0 and 1, 2, 3. So it is varying from 0 to 2 raised to k minus 1. 2 raised to k is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. So 0 to 3 means total 4 memory locations are there. So this is all about the memory addresses. If your address is having k bit, then you in the total memory you will memory locations count will be 2 raised to k, and that will be varying from 0 to 2 raised to k minus 1. So other than that, so these are few examples. If your system is having 64 bits were used for representing a single memory location, then total memory locations of the system is 2 raised to 24, that is 1 million. Even if your system is 32 bit memory locations are there, then total 2 raised to 32 memory locations are there. That means 4 gigabytes of memory will be there. Or if your system is having 1k, one other terms we just will be mentioning, 1k is mentioning like 2 raised to 10, and to 1 terabytes is called as 2 raised to 40. So maybe you are already familiar. This 2 raised to 10 is kilo, 2 raised to 20 is million, 2 raised to 30 is called gigabytes, and 2 raised to 40 is called terabytes of memory. And it is impractical to assign distinct address to every bit of memory. So that is, see, we will be having millions of memory locations, or millions of bits will be present in the memory. So for giving a memory address for each of the bit will be really difficult. So what we are doing is, uh, the most practical assignment is to have a successive address refers to successive byte location. So with respect to a particular byte, one address we are giving. So that is called the byte addressable memory. If for a given byte, that means a collection of 8 bits together, one address will be assigning, and that is called the byte addressability. Even some system will be using word addressability. That means for a given word, it is assigning an address. Okay. So byte locations has been addressed like 0, 1, 2. Like means first 8 bit will be the 0th byte. Next 8 bit will be first byte. Then next 8 bit will be second byte, like that. And if the word length is 32 bits, if the word length is 32 bits, they successive words are located at addresses if word length is 32 bit. So means first 0 to 3, that means the first 4 bytes will be together is representing your first word. Next 4 to 7 will be representing your second word. Next 8 to 11 will be representing your third word. That is 32 bits. 32 bits means how many bytes? 32 bit means 4 bytes. So 4 bytes together will be representing your one word. That is what it was mentioned. 0 to 3 will be representing your first word. 4 to 7 will be representing your second word, and 8 to 11 will be representing your third word, and so on. The diagram will give you a clear idea. So I told n bits together will be representing a word. So we can even represent this is the first word, second word, third word, like that. we can proceed. And even the data will be stored from 0 to 31. So this is a 32-bit word, and even the 32-bit word of, if it is an integer, the complete 32-bit is used for representing a one integer. But if it is a character, like ASCII character, then we know that 1 byte is required for storing a single character. So there, in 4 locations, actually 32 bits means 4 bytes are present. So in each byte location, you can save one ASCII character. See, this is called byte addressability. You can see the first byte is having assigning an address. So this is byte 0 that will be having an address, then byte 1 that is having another address. So in that way, you are having total how many memory location? 2 raised to k minus 1 memory locations are there. So the byte is 2 raised to k minus 1 will be the last byte address. Then the same example has given, if example k is equal to 16, your first address will be 0, last address will be what? Where is the last address? Last address will be 2 raised to 16 minus 1. So 2 raised to 16 minus 1 is 65535. So 65,535 is the last byte address. So the example is asking for if k is equal to 2. That means 2 bits are used for representing your one address. In that case, what will be the starting address and what will be the last address? Starting address will be always 0, and what will be the last address? That is 2 raised to 2 minus 1. That is 2 raised to 2 minus 1 is equal to 3. So 0 to 3 will be, the addresses will be varying. So next is, even I told, if the addresses or words are arranged like in terms of, instead of bits, even you can mention it as a number of bytes. Assume that your word length is 32 bits or even 4 bytes. So what will happen? Each address is having assigned with a byte, but 4 bytes together will be representing your one word. Next 4 bytes will be representing your second word, and the next 4 will be the third word, in that way. So word length is 4 bytes. In that case, the word 0 will be starting at a byte 0, but word 1 will be starting at byte 4. These are few organization. This how where we are using and all the things we will see later. This is just for some introduction to the next chapter. So you should know that what you mean by byte addressability, what you mean by word addressability. Already we know that MAR will be having an address. So which address it will be telling? The byte address of this 65535. That address only memory processor will be telling. So the content present in that particular word will be taken to the processor, or if it wants to write certain things to from the MDR, in this particular word it will be writing the content. So the just that starting address will be mentioning by the MAR. Next thing is two different assignments. It is called big endian and little endian assignments. So what do you mean by big endian and little endian assignment? See here, the word address has mentioned like 0, 4, 2 raised to k minus 4. So in that way, the word length or word address has numbered. So this is actually a byte addressable memory. So if the, what do you mean by big endian assignment and little endian assignment we are discussing? Big endian assignment means, read the statement. The lower byte address are used for most significant bytes of the word. This is very, very important. Last semester also, last year also it was asked. Lower byte addresses are used for most significant byte of the word. So this is the most significant. This is the MSB. So MSB will be having the lower order bytes of the data. So the MSB will be having the lower order bytes and this is the second byte. So MSB is this one, and this is LSB, least significant bit. We'll show one more example, that time you will get it. So what is this? If the MSB is containing the lower order address, that is called a big endian assignment. And if the opposite one, that is little endian, what is that? If the lower order address is at the least significant bit, then that is called as little endian. So this diagram is also important. Word addresses are numbered from, because we are assigning like one word is 4 bytes of memory, and the MSB will be assigning with the lower order address, that is called a big endian. If MSB will be assigning with the lower order addresses are assigned for a least significant bytes, it is called the little endian. Next example will give you a clear idea. Assume that this is the data you are having. So what will happen in MSB? I told you, sorry, in big endian, the MSB will be storing into the lower order address. So MSB of this data is 0A, that will be storing in the lower order address A. The next value will be storing in the higher order address, that is A plus 1, this way. That is called big endian assignment. And what is this little endian assignment? The MSB I told it will be going into the MSB will be going, or the LSB will be going into the lower order address. Which is the LSB? LSB is a 0D. That will be going into the lower order address, that is lower order address is A. So if LSB is going into the lower order address, it is called a little endian. If MSB is going into the lower order address, it is called a big endian. Where this big endian will be using? Usually in network transfer, we will be using the big endian, because the most significant data should at least transfer first without any network interruption. Where that little endian will be using? Most of the architecture, the little endian will be using for storing the data, like even Intel or x86 processor, all those things you will be using the little endian architecture. So that will vary from processor to processor. Even the compatibility issue between the little endian and big endian is also existing. So these, but for few applications, the big endian will be supporting, like what I mentioned, like network thing. And for file transfer type of things and all, the data big endian as well as little endian will be using. In that cases, actually the compatibility issue will be also arising. Next is we are mentioning about what are the instruction types. Based on the application, we can have different types like data transfer between memory and processor register, or arithmetical or logical operation, or even program sequencing and control. And last one is IO transfer. So in the remaining part of the second chapter, we are discussing only about these four types of operations. So data transfer from memory and processor, already in the first chapter itself we have little discussed. Even arithmetic and logical operations, much things we are not discussing, but program sequencing and control and IO transfer will be discussing in this session. See, we are having instructions. We know that different types of instructions are present. So what is this? We are just looking into few set of instructions. So first is data transfer instruction. What was mentioned in the four types of instruction I mentioned. What is data transfer instruction? Move A comma B. That means the content of A will be transferring to B. Similarly, move A comma R1. Content of A will be transferring to R1. Arithmetic and logical operation, that is second operations of the computer, that is add A comma B comma C. It means A plus B will be added and it is assigning to C. Next is a sequencing operation or branching operation. So it will be jump, certain address will be given like 2000. So it means that it is going into 2000 address and executing the function present in the 2000. Or even input output data transfer like input port comma R5. So it means that read input port to register R5. So the port address whatever is given, its content will be reading into R5 register. So these are the few examples of different instruction types. And we know that each instruction will be having two parts. One is your opcode and second one is your operand. And other than that, these are the symbols. What is the meaning of the square bracket? As I already mentioned you, that means that the content inside the location, or square bracket of R1 is representing the content inside the R1 register. Next is, an operation can be performed like this: the operation and then the operands. So what is this instruction is doing, that I already mentioned? C is equal to A plus B will be performing. So A and B will be adding and result will be storing in C. And here A, B, C are the operands present inside the instruction, and A and B are called as the source operand and C is called as destination operand. C is called because the result will be storing in C, so it is called as destination operand. In case of some instructions, the same operand serve as both source and destination. Look into this example. Add A comma B. So what will be happening? A and B will be adding and result will be storing where? In B. So in that case, B will be acting as both source and destination. Instruction can also be classified based on the number of operand addresses they include. So it will be like how many number of operands present inside the instruction. Based on that also we can classify the instruction. That is one address instruction, three address in zero address instruction, one address instruction, two address instruction, and three address instruction. These are the classification of instructions based on the number of operands present inside the instruction. How many number of operands are present in this instruction? Three operands are present, so it is included in the three address instruction. How many number of operands are present in this instruction? Two operands are present, so it is included in the two address instruction. Even in that case, both may be a memory location or one may be a register also. But anyway, how many number of operands present? Two are present, so it is also included in two address instruction. Clear A, that means assigning A with value 0. Whatever the content will be is there in A register will be clearing. So that is how many operands are present. Only one operand is present, so it is included in one address instruction. Zero address instruction means there is no operand present inside the instruction. So the halt is or return, all those things are included in the zero address instruction. So these are the different types of instruction: three address instruction, two address instruction, one address instruction, and zero address instruction. And in our next class, we will discuss about how branching or program sequencing will be happening inside the assembly language programming. So in today's session, actually we were discussed about how the memory will be assigning, or how the memory address will be present inside the system, what is meant by big endian and little endian assignment, what is meant by word addressable and byte addressable memory, big endian, little endian, and what are the different instruction types: zero address, one address, two address, and three address instructions. So mainly these things are the part of the introduction regarding our second chapter. But only two questions you can expect. One is, what is the difference between big endian and little endian? Second one is, what are the different instruction types, like three address, two address, one address, and zero address, and along with the exam. That's all. Thank you.